criminals who can be about as tough as they come. Plus, tonight here we celebrate a big birthday around here. Nightly News begins now.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams.
Good evening. Most parents, understandably, are sad to send their kids off to college despite the exciting new chapter it represents. But at least most of them know they'll be home for the next holiday break. Imagine having a child at college and getting a phone call informing you your child is gone. A victim of a campus shooting, the kind that has been in the news so much lately, the kind that took place yesterday at Northern Illinois University, an hour west of Chicago. No amount of investigation will bring the victims back or heal the wounded, but we do know more about the young man with the guns who walked into that lecture hall yesterday afternoon and started firing. Our coverage begins here tonight with NBC's Kevin Tibbles. He's on campus this evening. Kevin, good evening.
Good evening, Brian. Tonight, as this campus continues to grieve, a picture emerges of a smart young man who made the dean's list, who became a killer.
On a cold February day, students and faculty at Northern Illinois University visited makeshift memorials with flags at half-staff and the blood from yesterday's rampage still staining the snow.
A lot of shock, a lot of numbness, you know, thinking this can't happen, this can't be real.
Police today identified the gunman as 27-year-old former graduate student Stephen Kazmierczak, who killed 5 students and injured some 16 others before killing himself. This is video of Kazmierczak posted from a class in 2004. Witnesses say more than 150 students were in the auditorium near the end of a geology class when the gunman burst onto the stage at the front of the room from behind a black curtain. He was carrying 4 weapons, 3 handguns and 1 shotgun, and without saying a word, started firing. Kazmierczak studied sociology at Northern Illinois until the spring of last year.
There were no red flags. He was an outstanding student. He was an awarded student. He was someone that was revered by the faculty and staff and students alike.
He then moved to the University of Illinois in Champaign. It was there, police say, he legally bought the guns beginning last August. He bought 2 of them just 6 days ago. But police say Kazmierczak had recently stopped taking a medication, one they would not identify, but that there were reports he had become erratic. His father, who lives in Florida, was clearly shaken.
Please leave me alone. I have no statement to make and no comment. Okay? I appreciate that. This is a very hard time.
Local trauma units scrambled to treat the 21 victims, ranging in age from late teens to early 30s.
We really didn't think of how tough it was, because we're all trained for that. It wasn't until afterwards, when all the patients were dispositions, did we realize what a tragedy it actually was.
The brother of one of the victims, Catalina Garcia, remembered his sister.
Very much the American girl, 20 years old, just turned 20 last month.
The shooter only took seconds to exact his toll. Today, as classmates and friends of his victims mourn, it is clear the healing process will take much longer.
And Brian, tonight NBC News has confirmed that Kazmierczak enlisted in the Army in the aftermath of 9/11, but was later discharged for unknown reasons. Brian?
Hard to take, all of it. Kevin Tibbles on campus for us tonight. Kevin, thank you. And now we turn to the larger topic of gun violence in this country and the questions all day today about whether or not this shooting and others like it could have been prevented. We get that part of this story from our justice correspondent, Pete Williams.
The Illinois attack is the latest in a string of gun violence just this month. Fatal school shootings at a college in Baton Rouge and a junior high in Oxnard, California. 2 students wounded in 2 high schools in Memphis, and 5 women killed at a clothing store in suburban Chicago. All reasons, say gun control advocates today, to impose tighter restrictions. ATF investigators say Stephen Kazmierczak bought his 4 guns, 3 pistols and a 12-gauge shotgun entirely legally in 3 separate visits to a gun store starting last August, again in December, and on February 9th. Illinois has a 3-day waiting period for handguns. But advocates of stricter gun control say with 270 million guns in America, it's too easy to buy them.
You have a background check sometimes, and you have no limit on the number of guns you can buy. Our gun laws are so weak, almost anyone can get a gun pretty quickly.
Internet sales are another issue. Investigators say they're looking into whether the same internet dealer who sold ammunition to the student responsible for last year's Virginia Tech shootings also sold ammunition clips to Kazmierczak. But gun rights groups say most gun owners are law-abiding, and it's not fair to further restrict their rights. Next month, the U.S. Supreme Court takes up a case from here in Washington that could decide for the first time in the nation's history what the right to bear arms really means. A decision could make it more difficult to restrict gun ownership. As for the other issue raised by the Illinois shootings, people with mental health problems, they actually commit a small fraction of mass shootings.
Most mass killers are extraordinarily ordinary. And that's why they're dangerous, because we don't know what's about to happen. We can't pick them out from a crowd.
The University of Illinois, where Kazmierczak was a graduate student, declines to comment on his medical history in an attack that many experts say may have been impossible to prevent. Pete Williams, NBC News, Washington.
Last night here, we told you about the Pentagon's plans to use a missile to shoot down a U.S. spy satellite before it crashes to Earth. That news, as you might imagine, was greeted with some trepidation around the world today, and so today the U.S. State Department moved to reassure foreign governments, saying the planned shoot down is for safety reasons only and not some sort of a test of any new offensive weapons system. President Bush is on his way to Africa tonight. He'll spend almost a week there, meeting with leaders of 5 separate nations, highlighting, among other things, his plan to help those with HIV and AIDS. Meanwhile, his father, Bush 41, as he's called, is making headlines of his own tonight. That's where we begin tonight's coverage of presidential politics with NBC's Andrea Mitchell.
No wonder John McCain was smiling in Wisconsin today. Though still not officially the GOP nominee and with a challenger in the race,
I'll get down there.
McCain secured the support of the Republican Party's only living former president, George H.W. Bush.
He's certainly maybe the finest gentleman in our party in the view of one and all.
Monday in Texas, the elder Bush and McCain will meet to announce the endorsement.
It gives him kind of the good housekeeping seal of approval from the Republican Party's establishment.
And John McCain pressed Barack Obama over strategy for a fall campaign. How much money would each man be able to spend if they end up as opponents? Would they raise cash privately or rely on government funds? A year ago, Obama and McCain each pledged to accept federal financing, $85 million for the general election, instead of raising private funds where there are no limits. But that was long before Obama started raising eye-popping sums.
If Senator Obama goes back on his commitment to the American people, then obviously we'd have to rethink our position.
It would be presumptuous of me to start saying now that I'm locking myself into something when I don't even know if the other side is going to agree to it.
Not just a tangle over money, but McCain is looking to question Obama's credibility. Andrea Mitchell, NBC News, Washington.
Now to the Democrats. You may have read or seen Senator Hillary Clinton attacking Barack Obama for not standing up, she says, to so-called special interests in a case involving a nuclear power issue in his home state of Illinois. We asked our senior investigative correspondent Lisa Myers to take a closer look at what did actually happen when Senator Obama had to weigh the concerns of citizens near a nuclear plant and the interests of one of his campaign contributors in what became something of a political lesson.
Godley, Illinois, in the shadow of one of Exelon Corporation's nuclear power plants.
This is Exelon's property line.
2 years ago, people here learned they'd never been told about a series of leaks from the plant over a decade. Leaks that sent radioactive material into nearby water supplies.
We were angry, we were frightened. You turn on your tap in the morning and you don't know if that water is safe to drink.
Though most of the leaks were below levels officially considered hazardous, residents argued they should have been notified. They turned to their freshman U.S. Senator, Barack Obama, for help. Obama, while on the campaign trail, talked about the results.
So the only nuclear legislation that I've passed has been to make sure that the nuclear industry has to disclose whenever they admit anything that might be considered radioactive.
But activist citizens and others involved in the issue say that's not exactly what happened. A bill was passed by a Senate committee, but never became law. And some whom Obama tried to help say he compromised too much with corporate interests. Obama's initial bill said nuclear plants shall immediately notify federal, state, and local officials in the event of a leak. Under pressure from committee Republicans and industry lobbyists, that language was weakened to say the Nuclear Regulatory Commission shall consider requiring plants to provide timely notice.
It didn't have any of the teeth, that were in the original drafts of the bill. And I think that was a disappointment for us.
However, it wasn't a disappointment to Exelon, one of the largest employers in Illinois. Exelon officials and workers are Obama's fourth largest contributor, donating $269,000 to his congressional and presidential campaigns. Obama disputes any suggestion that he was helping Exelon. An Obama spokesman says the senator fought industry demands, repeatedly criticized Exelon in the press, and then fought for months to get action on the bill.
We ended up getting more than was in place before, not as much as I originally would have liked.
He also points out that Hillary Clinton applauded the compromise at the time and voted for it. And though the legislation never became law, the nuclear industry did agree to voluntarily report potential hazards.
So the good news is that there's now a voluntary reporting system for every plant in the country. The price of that is that that's a voluntary initiative.
Back in Godley, for all their disappointment, residents say so far the voluntary notification system seems to be working. Lisa Myers, NBC News, Washington.
And when Nightly News continues here this Friday evening, important news about the flu. All of a sudden, right now, it's as bad as it gets in this country. And then later, a milestone right under our noses.
The NBC television news reel with Paul Alley, your commentator, bringing you late news.
Have you heard the news about Zyrtec? It's great news for people with indoor allergies, with outdoor allergies, or for people like me who have both.
Zyrtec, the #1 prescribed allergy medicine, is now available without a prescription at full prescription strength. Zyrtec is clinically proven to relieve even your worst allergy symptoms.
From desk mites and pet dander to ragweed and pollen for a full 24 hours. Now I am freer to do what I want, where I want.
Zyrtec, #1 prescribed, now without a prescription.
Dieting and exercising? Heard about One-A-Day Weight Smart Advanced?
No, tell me more.
This complete multivitamin gives you nutritional and energy support through a unique blend of guarana and other ingredients. One-A-Day Weight Smart Advanced.
As an investor, you want someone to be there for you and not just when the market's open or if your account is big enough. TD Ameritrade offers 24/7 phone support from licensed staff in 100 branch offices. Ask a question, get help with a retirement plan, someone's always there. With TD Ameritrade, you make your own decisions, but you're never really alone.
Call 1-877-TD Ameritrade or go to tdameritrade.com/IRA to open an easy IRA today.
Who makes chicken noodle soup as good as your grandma?
I do, because I make it with Swanson broth.
Swanson broth is made with all-natural chicken stock and the flavors of garden vegetables and herbs.
My secret is Swanson broth.
For more recipes, visit swansonbroth.com.
I want to be home.
I mean, a new home.
Now's a great time to buy a home. RE/MAX.com shows you all the listings in thousands of cities and towns so you can find your perfect place. Nobody sells more real estate than RE/MAX.
As promised, we're back with some health news. Flu season has come on strong this year, as we've been reporting, but health officials now tell us it's getting much worse across this country, even in the past week's time. Vaccines are proving to be of limited help, and as our chief science correspondent Robert Bazell reports, and as you may already be experiencing in your family, a lot of people are suffering.
Deep breath.
At Vanderbilt Hospital in Nashville today, flu cases are forcing the clinic and hospital to operate at 110%. 9 out of 10 members of the Sloan family have been stricken.
Started showing symptoms about 4 o'clock yesterday morning.
With 1-month-old Olivia Joy the latest.
We're just going to do the swab.
Similar scenes are taking place in most parts of the country, even forcing many schools to close. The CDC now reports that this year's epidemic involves widespread flu activity in 44 states, up from 31 last week. At the same time, visits to doctors and hospitals for flu-like symptoms have shot up.
It's about as bad as it gets because most states are reporting widespread disease all in the same week.
One problem is that increasing numbers of strains are resistant to drugs used to treat flu.
A much bigger problem is that the major circulating strain this year, called H3N2, often causes serious disease. And the danger is compounded because this year's version of the strain is not a good match with the vaccine.
In Carson City, Nevada, 11-year-old Kyra Jean Conway's fever rose to 105, and the local hospital airlifted her to the university in Davis, California, but she died along the way. Her grandmother said at first they thought it was asthma, a problem she has had for years.
People say, well, what do you need? You know, we need our Kyra back.
You don't want to give the bed to them.
The CDC says so far this year, 10 children have died from flu.
My head hurts. I haven't slept in 2 days.
The World Health Organization today announced that the flu has mutated so much that next year's vaccine needs to be entirely different from this year's. Meanwhile, officials can only wait to see when this year's outbreak peaks. Robert Bazell, NBC News, New York.
This late item, a judge in Illinois has declared aviator and adventurer Steve Fawcett legally dead. You may recall it's been 5 months since Fawcett's small aircraft disappeared while he was flying over a stretch of Nevada. He's a record holder in several different areas of aviation. We have a quick look now at Wall Street for this Friday. Both the Dow and NASDAQ were down slightly today. And coming up after a break here, something to feel good about, a young woman who's making a difference for girls coming up behind her.
Hair color. Feel like it hasn't changed since Grandma's time? We asked the same question and came up with a breakthrough. New Perfect 10 from Nice and Easy. Why glop when there's perfect control with our comb? Why drip when you don't have to? And why shouldn't it smell pretty? We put designer color, high gloss, and gray coverage in a fast time formula that works in 10 minutes. The result? Gorgeous, glossy color, so you'll look and feel like a perfect 10. Perfect 10, the color that changes everything. From Clairol.
Tim, nobody ever asked me what I want to be when I grow up. Maybe it's your name. Ritzer? Smucker.
When your name is Smucker, everyone knows you'll grow up to make the world's best jam. With a name like Smucker's, it has to be good.
Burning, itching. Oh, I should have used Preparation H.
And for extra relief, use Preparation H medicated wipes first. Unlike most ordinary wipes, they relieve while you clean. Then apply your Preparation H. Medicated wipes from Preparation H, the relief expert.
It's not that unusual when everything is beautiful. It's just another ordinary miracle today.
Life is better when things work in harmony. That's why at CVS Pharmacy, we do a comprehensive check of your prescriptions to make sure they work together.
It's just another ordinary
CVS Pharmacy, for all the ways you care.
You can customize your car, your ringtone, and now dinner.
Now customize dinner with Applebee's 3-Course Classic, starting at $9.99. Choose entree, appetizer, and desserts, starting at $9.99.
Applebee's, get it together, baby.
Did you know 1 in 3 men will face prostate issues?
1 in 3, really?
That's why One-A-Day Men's is a complete multivitamin with lycopene, which Harvard studies suggest may help prostate health. One-A-Day Men's.
Very good. Oh, here it comes. The sinus pressure that always starts to build whenever I have a cold or allergies. Oh, I need relief from this throbbing sinus pressure. The congestion. I feel so stuffed up. I just might blow.
Sudafed PE relieves sinus pressure, and the medicine in Sudafed PE relieves nasal congestion in minutes.
Okay, kids. Let's turn to chapter 3.
Sudafed PE. Get your head back where it belongs.
A friend who was with Natalie Holloway on the night she disappeared now speaks out for the first time. A Dateline exclusive next Friday, 10/9 Central on NBC.
Making a Difference. Brought to you by Veramist Fluticasone Fluoroate Nasal Spray.
We're back, and it's time now, as promised, for our Friday Making a Difference report. It can be tempting to look back with nostalgia at our younger years, but the truth is a lot of us block out the teen years entirely, when kids can be so mean and life can seem like such a minefield of gossip and bullying and depression. But our own John Larson has the story of one young woman who decided it doesn't have to be that way.
When Haley Kilpatrick was in middle school, she used to eat her lunch in the bathroom to avoid all the cruel things her friends were saying.
The anxiety was so intense that it was easier to remove yourself. So I was your typical 7th grader who just chose to avoid it.
How about things you enjoy?
So when she got to high school, Haley went back to middle school to counsel younger girls on surviving all the mean girl talk of middle school. The younger girls began opening up, and something amazing happened.
The girls' grades were improving. The guidance counselor actually said, "You've cut my job in half. I think you're onto something."
Purple is right here at the right.
Word spread, other teenagers volunteered, and Haley's Girl Talk is now serving 30,000 girls in 24 states, in places like the Atlanta Girls' School in Georgia.
I heard people saying, "Oh yeah, she's so horrible," and blah, 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 blah. And that hurt my feelings a lot, too.
Or here at Laguna Middle School in California.
Did everybody learn something today about friends?
High school girls lead younger girls in discussions ranging from depression to gossip.
The one thing I would never want to do again is be in 7th grade.
Joan Countryman has been teaching girls for nearly 40 years.
Now, why do you think it is that girls in middle school will listen to girls in high school?
Because they're the big kids, you know? And I think girls like to be in groups, they like to support each other, they like to talk.
I would cry.
Like Joanna Schaefer, a 10th grader so hurt by cyberbullying that in middle school she turned to drugs.
I felt like there wasn't really anything to live for. Like, I couldn't talk to anyone.
She got help and now helps younger girls avoid similar trouble.
For the first time, we're seeing high school girls. They're so excited to be leaders to the middle school girls and say, "Let me tell you how I got through it." And it's really making a difference.
Oh, here's some hearts.
Tackling tough issues with one of the most natural things of all. Girls sharing, helping, and talking. John Larson, NBC News, Atlanta.
We're back in a moment with a proud milestone here in these parts when Nightly News continues in a moment.
I found it. One medicine for my seasonal allergies. Veramist nasal spray. I've got the power of one to treat all my nasal symptoms. All my eye symptoms, too. It's true. Veramist is FDA approved to treat seasonal nasal and eye symptoms.
For best results, use once daily. Side effects may include nosebleed or nasal sores. Nasal fungal infection, glaucoma, or cataracts may occur.
And for your first 30 days free, go to Veramist.com. Ask your doctor about Veramist for seasonal allergy symptoms. The power of one.
Who makes chicken noodle soup as good as your grandma?
I do, because I make it with Swanson broth.
Swanson broth is made with all-natural chicken stock and the flavors of garden vegetables and herbs.
My secret is Swanson broth.
For more recipes, visit swansonbroth.com.
I smoked for forever. I can't count how many times I tried quitting.
I can't tell you the number of times I tried quitting.
Yeah, I worried about my health, but even that didn't help me quit.
I would start out strong, then my willpower would fade.
Now I know.
For me, smoking is more than a habit. Smoking is a nicotine addiction.
That's why I found it so hard to quit.
That's why it was so hard for me to quit.
The good news? Proven medical advances have been made in understanding nicotine addiction. For more information on how to quit smoking and how support can help, visit mytimetoquit.com or call 1-866-239-8729.
I didn't have to blame myself.
I know what kept stopping me.
For free information about a plan to quit smoking and to find out about a prescription treatment option, visit mytimetoquit.com or call 1-866-239-8729.
Now I understand.
I think about quitting in a whole different way.
I knew it was my time to quit.
I knew it was my time.
I knew it was my time to quit.
This time I did it.
Visit mytimetoquit.com or call now.
Some cold medicines relieve mucus, but Robitussin knows when you have a cold, you want relief from more than just mucus. No matter what your symptoms, Robitussin has customized formulas to help make them all, even mucus, disappear. Robitussin works like magic on more than just mucus.
Is your mouth protected at night?
When I used Crest Pro Health at night, I feel like I'm protected.
Went to bed and it felt fresh, and then I woke up in the morning and it still felt that fresh feeling.
My mouth felt cleaner and healthier.
Get the right protection at night with Crest Pro Health toothpaste. It's the only all-in-one toothpaste that protects all these areas dentists check most, even while you sleep.
Feel confident that I could turn over in the morning and give him a kiss?
Protect your mouth right with Crest Pro Health at night. Also, try Crest Pro Health Rinse.
Tonight on the Channel 4 News at 11, so much emotion, so many images from a final salute to a SWAT team leader. His story at 11. Also, the flu takes a young life here in Southern California, why the strain is so much more dangerous this winter. Plus, two men and their chance meeting. How a handshake saved one of their lives at 11.
Finally, tonight, we wanted to take a moment to mark a milestone around here. It's a big anniversary for this broadcast, which got its start 60 years ago tomorrow, on February the 16th, 1948, when NBC started broadcasting television's first ever regularly scheduled network evening newscast.
The NBC television newsreel with Paul Alley, your commentator.
Back in 1948, television was the new media. There had been news on radio for years, of course, but news with moving pictures on television, now that was something new.
Today's news today.
By 1949, the program had an anchorman, John Cameron Swayze.
Ladies and gentlemen, a good evening to you.
His Camel News Caravan was actually named for the sponsor of the program, Camel Cigarettes.
America's most popular cigarette.
More than that, Swayze was actually encouraged to light up while he was on the air.
Now, David, do you have something for us?
The legendary team of Chet Huntley and David Brinkley took over in 1956.
The Huntley-Brinkley Report.
They revolutionized television news and dominated the field through the 1960s.
Good night, Chet. Good night, David. And good night for NBC News.
The broadcast was given its current name in 1970, with John Chancellor at the helm.
Good evening on one of the heaviest news days in a long time.
Followed in the early 1980s by a young man the network thought had such a bright future.
Good evening. President Reagan goes on national television tonight.
Our friend and colleague Tom Brokaw guided this broadcast for more than 20 extraordinary years.
And I'll see you along the way.
Which brings us to today. We're still doing what started here 60 years ago, trying every day to find new ways to bring you the news. Well, all those commercials say 60 is the new 40, right? That is our broadcast for the time-honored NBC Nightly News for this Friday night and for this week. Imagine today's news today. Thank you, as always, for being with us. I'm Brian Williams. Lester Holt will be here with you all this weekend. We hope to see you right back here on Monday night. Let's go for 61. Have a good weekend. Good night.
Keith figures out the Obama conundrum. As Obama keeps rising, is there a way for either Clinton or McCain to sink his campaign? Countdown with Keith Olbermann, MSNBC, tonight.
Next, Heather versus Paul, today's epic showdown and allegations he stabbed her. Then Clooney's $40,000 Valentine's surprise, plus the 5-bite diet sweeping Hollywood.
The 2008 Los Angeles Marathon. Be there Sunday, March 2nd.
McDonald's double cheeseburger.
Man, how is that only $1?
It's on the dollar menu, dude.
But a burger like that for $1?
And they do that every day.
Yeah, awesome quality, awesome prices.
They should say that in a commercial.
Totally.
The Barney's New York Warehouse Sale. This is the final weekend to get 50 to 75% off regular prices. The Barker Hanger at the Santa Monica Air Center. Buy it all at the Barney's Warehouse Sale. Don't wear it all at once.
Don't miss the world's best jockeys at Santa Anita.
I ride hard, I ride aggressive, I put my horses in the spot to win. Winning is the only thing to do.
There's a lot of things going through my mind. Be ready for anything that happens.
Catch the excitement of live racing and terrific entertainment at Santa Anita this Monday, President's Day. Every fan in attendance receives this one-of-a-kind Santa Anita Junkie Wastebasket absolutely free. Santa Anita, the great race place, is better than ever.
McDonald's Egg McMuffin.
Whoa, 2 for $3?
Hey, that's less than your fancy pants coffee in the morning.